Good morning, everybody. I hear your bright Thursday voices. Good morning once again. Shot caller here live from the mountain house, and the sun is out, right? And so first things first, to God be the glory. We get through another day, and it's a brand new month. And, the first quarter of 2020 just went like that, right? In a flicker, right? And so our Powerboost daily call, for those of you that are new, our agenda is to give you there you go, a shot of vitamin C, right? When your immune system is low, right? And, you need to amp up your immune system. They say take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, right? That's one of the vitamins that we should all be taking, right? And vitamin C on our call today, on a daily basis, C stands for champion. It stands for consistency. It stands for competitive. It stands for commitment. It stands for courage. It stands for charge. And it can stand for change, guys. And so it's a brand new month. And my shot of vitamin C today is a 3-part shot. And then our agenda is really a vitamin C. And then number 2 is a question of the day. And number 3 is a serious talk. But our vitamin C shot for today is broken into 3 parts. What is the vitamin C shot today? Well, it's a brand new month. So the first thing is, number 1, and you want to write this down, somebody's asking me, should I have a Powerboost daily call journal or notebook? Absolutely. These are just things that you might remember now but won't remember later, and you go through it. And you can use it, and you can use it for your own coaching with your team, right? So number 1, it's a brand new month. So what do you do with a brand new month? Of course, you got to know your goal. So number 1, when this call ends, you got to know your goal. So what do you usually do? You go to POL, you look at all the brand new things that the company has launched, and you find out where you fit in on that bigger goal. See, Primerica has a bigger goal. You got to see how your goal fits in there, right? Or you can go call your regional vice president or your field trainer, and you find out what the base shop goal is and then where you fit in there, right? Or you might have a credit card that you want to pay off this month, and maybe you're like, you have a $2,100 balance. You're just so close, and you just want to say, hallelujah, praise the Lord, I'm done with you this month, and that could be your goal. The key is there has to be a goal. Now, I'm going to tell you my biggest mistake when it comes to this part is I like to have 10 gazillion goals. Let's break it down to simple terms, right? We talked about that yesterday, right? So number 1, just one goal, right? Number 2 is, and this is my real vitamin shot for today, is really play your thoughts. You want to write that down, play your thoughts, right? So what happens is, as you start getting involved in Primerica and you get immersed into it, you can see it's a very achievement-oriented, type of organization, right? It's all about hitting goals. It's all about accomplishing goals. And our biggest critic is nobody but ourselves, right? So the number 2 is you have to have player thoughts, because your past doesn't equal your future. Guys, so what you did in March, if you if you did 0 by 0, your past doesn't equal your future. That doesn't have to be it for the month of April, right? So one of the things that I do, and nowadays it's so cool because you can Google everything, but I have a library, and I want you to write this down, is you can Google Vince Lombardi quotes, or Vince Lombardi. And I have his whole collection just because, it's all about training our mind, right? So player thoughts, he's the best when it comes to player thoughts. Your past doesn't equal your future. Look, guys, perfection is not attainable. But if we chase perfection, guys, we can catch excellence. How powerful is that? Right? Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, if we chase it, team fam, we can catch excellence, right? Because the measure of who we are is what we do with what we have, right? So look at some Vince Lombardi quotes, and if I have time, I'll go over some more. But number 2 is player thoughts. And number 3, I'm telling you, our question of the day always seems, I get all these questions, and then usually the way I start my morning is I reflect and I meditate kind of what my vitamin C shot, because it usually gets delivered to me like around 11:15, between 11:15 to 11:30. It just comes through osmosis in my head, and then I deliver it. But the question of the day fits into part 3, which is the structure. Here's the question. Somebody asked, I really need a consistent structure right now since I'm at home all the time, because I get lazy when I have to think about what to do. You know what? That is a legitimate question, because our home is technically our comfort zone. We go to our home to rest. So I know how you feel. I feel and felt the same way. But you know what I found out? That during this time, it's a great opportunity for us to really discipline not only our habits, but our mind, right? It is truly the comfort zone. So what do? Number 1 is you still have to have a home office. You have to have a place where you have all your business stuff, your desk, right? Even though we are in our room, we have 3 tables. We have a kitchen table, which we call a kitchen table, but half of the table, because it's a big table, half of the table is all business notebooks and business stuff, right? Christian has his own table with his own desktop, with his own files, with his own things to do, right? With his own computer. And I have mine on the other side of the room, my own desk, my own corner, my own desktop, my own files, right? And then we have this spot here where we do all our filming. So guys, you still have to structure your house or your room so you have a spot, right? So the question is, I need a consistent structure. So here's a consistent structure, right? And write this down so you know, right? Monday through Saturday, right? I believe, and you don't have to, go by what I believe, right? But I believe there's always has to be a day of rest. You've heard me before that for the first 6 years, 7 days a week, I worked, and that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true, right? And the reason why is because I have, both of my parents are worker type of parents. So I grew up in that environment of working, right? It's very rare we have idle time. So I grew up with workers, and so that was the environment. And don't get me wrong, 7 days a week, it didn't kill me. So I always feel like if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, right? And we had to do what we had to do because we had some goals that we had to figure out to take care of, like, retiring my mom, retiring my dad, paying off this, paying Vincent's college education off, there's so many things, right? So sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But I always say, you should have a day of rest, right? And then so Sunday's your day of rest, right? So what is your structure? Okay, here's a structure. Here's a skeletal structure during this COVID times, right? 7 to 9 is when you do admin, right? And that's when you do all your home office stuff. That's when you do all your prayer stuff, your organization stuff, things like that. 7 to 9, that's all your admin. Or in the beginning, maybe 8 to 9 is your admin if you don't have that much to go ahead and follow up. 7 to 8 is meditation, prayer, just getting in the right mindset, having some alone time, some space, doing a devotional, saying a short prayer. That's right. So 7 to 8 is that. 8 to 9 is admin. 9 to 12, guys, every morning should be prospecting, texting, approaching, all planting seeds. That's all your planting seeds time. 9 to 12 is all planting seeds. 9 to 12 is planting seeds, which includes prospecting, texting, Facebook messaging, making phone calls, etc., etc. That's 9 to 12, right? 1 to 4, guys, should be Zoom interviews. These are people that you want to get qualified, or you planted a seed, or maybe they're a millennial, or they're looking for a part-time, and that's the focus. 1 to 4 should be Zoom interviews, right? And don't feel weirded out. A lot of corporate companies especially that work on an international basis, will do conferencing interviews. I was watching something, was it not yesterday, the day before yesterday, and it was a company from Singapore, and they were interviewing somebody from the Philippines, like two different countries, guys, and they were doing a conference interview to see if they qualified. So, guys, that's how you want to think. You want to think international. You want to have that kind of global mindset, right? And then 6 to 9 are Zoom KTA appointments. I just want to let you guys know that, that's really where the heart of what we do as far as serving families and as a financial coach. 6 to 9 should be your Zoom appointments. And then 10 to 12 should be anything that you need to study, right? Whether it's an hour of securities, whether it's an hour of script, that kind of stuff, right? So that is the basic structure. And so what I would do, guys, because we are in the comfort zone, you got to set alarms. And I'll go ahead and no, you guys have to do this alarm. I don't think I'm going to do it on the band, but what you need to do is on your phone, you need to set alarms, right? So it alarms you when it's time for you to do Zoom interviews, when it's time for you to do Zoom appointments. It alarms you. I have alarms for practically my whole day. I have an alarm when I'm supposed to eat, right? Because left alone, my mind wanders. That's for me. I have a wandering mind because I have all these things that are coming through, ideas that I wander. So it's important that there is structure. So I get it, guys. And so that's a very good question. So the vitamin C shot part 3 is structure. And that was our question of the day. Great question, guys. And so as I close, I just want to let you know that we've been talking about how successful people think. And I really enjoyed this topic with you guys. And, we started off with talking about how successful people, they cultivate a big picture thinking. Then they engage in focused thinking. They harness now a creative thinking. The next thing you know, they employ a realistic thinking. And then we're talking about right now how successful people, they use strategic thinking. And I realized as I was going through this talk with you that really for us to be successful, and successful, in most instances, people relate success to money or monetary, tangible type of things. And I just want to let you know, successful just means what it means to you. How successful, if you feel amazing with where you are at your life, if you're able to do the things that you want to do, then that's successful. For Lila Reyes, for Shot Caller, successful is to be able to go ahead and on a full-time basis, be able to go to countries and be able to go ahead and help the poor on a daily basis. So philanthropy is really the ultimate success for Shot Caller. That is the ultimate success of where I'm headed, right? So we're talking about strategic thinking, and yesterday we talked about how successful people think as far as the strategic thinking, and they have to break down an issue. Today we realize that successful people, they gotta go ahead and identify the real issues and the objectives. William Feather, author of The Business Life, said, "Before it can be solved, a problem must be clearly defined. Too many people rush to solutions. As a result, they end up solving the wrong problem. To avoid that, ask probing questions to expose the real issues. Challenge all of your assumptions. Collect information even after you think you've identified the issue. You may still have to act with incomplete data, but you don't want to jump into conclusion before you gather information to begin identifying the real issue. Begin by asking what else could be the real issue. You should also remove any personal agenda, more than anything else, that can cloud your judgment. Discovering your real situation and objectives is a major part of the battle. Once the real issues are identified, the solutions are often simple." And I'm going to close with this. One of my secrets of being able to accomplish the things that I accomplish is because I realize that there are much more, I'm going to say, business emotional intelligence than I am at my point, right? Of course, there's always other people that are better than you that you can seek mentoring, right? And one of the things that I'm very, very, very transparent with is anything that deals with a major issue, anything that deals with a major decision, I think major or minor decision period that causes a slight hesitation or a slight, am I doing the right thing? Or, I like hit a roadblock. Our mentor, our FDD, is the first one to call. He knows like 99.9% of what goes on in my life. The reason being is I don't want to leave my life up to chance, right? Don't get me wrong. And there is still room for failure and failing forward, right? But I choose to go ahead and seek mentoring and coaching for those that have that ability to go ahead and guide me to where I want to go, guys, and has a track record to do so. That's very important with me, and has the means to have accessibility to solutions. It's very important to me. So I just don't take advice from anybody. And one of the things I can tell you is, if you have a team right now, and I'm going to close with this because we're talking about how successful people think, you really got to be strategic in your leadership and strategic in your actions, right? And the reason why I say that is because, people came to our business, our organization, our family, right, to have that hope, right, that light that they're going to change their quality of life. And don't get me wrong, they still have to do the work, right? But where we lead them is important, right? And we don't want to be that blind man or that blind woman that leads another blind, guys. And so let's be strategic in our thinking. It's a brand new month, right? Let's get into a focus mode today. And number 1, what is your immediate goal? Number 2, get into your player thoughts, right? Go through that. And number 3, and let me add on these player thoughts, if you were to come to a room, I think I have about 60 different frames of quotes. And I think I have about 10 paper quotes that are all over, our room. Why? Player thoughts, guys. And number 3, develop a habit of structure, guys. And so let's kick off the month and have a Power Boost day. Let's get that vitamin C because you are a champion. You are special. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.